what's up guys? The very first thing I want to do this morning is talk about how excited I am for this weekend. Those of you who know that it's a Strength Camp Challenge coming up on Saturday, you also probably know that there are going to be about 6,000 spectators traveling from all over the world to join us here in Florida for the Strength Camp Challenge 2015, second annual. And we've also got 200 competitors. We're giving away over $10,000 in prizes. And we're throwing, because you don't hold shit like this, you fucking throw it, a giant after party at Jackson's in Tampa, which is one of the biggest, most beautiful venues here in Florida. So I'm overly excited to watch the competitors battle it out, meet many of the spectators, and party up with the YouTube celebrities who are going to be here to grace us all with their presence, awesomeness, and party skills. So those of you who are going to make it, excited to meet up with you. And those of you who are within a 12-hour drive of Florida, get in your car and get here. All the information you need is down below. You can click the link about the Strength Camp Challenge, and you can watch one of the videos I put up on my Strength Camp channel yesterday, inviting everyone to our after party. And even if you can't make it, go watch that video because it's a lot of fun, and I talk a lot about the people who are going to be attending the party and a little bit about the history of the Strength Camp Challenge. So I'm happy to provide that with you. Now, part of my letter today revolved around the gratitude that I have for the people in my life, particularly those who helped make the Strength Camp Challenge and everything associated with it a reality. And you could read about that down below. And you know, it's always a good idea, I want to say it's tradition, to say thank you to people who have supported you in making your dreams a reality. Right? You know, the fact is that nothing that we create in life, nothing that we have in life, nothing we experience in life, life in itself is never experienced by ourselves alone. No man's an island. And as much of a staunch, self-reliant individual you might think you are, we really got to step back every once in a while and realize that nothing that we have comes just from us. You know, we like to pat ourselves in the back sometimes, and you know, especially if you listen to a lot of rap music, you know, artists talk about I did it, me, it's mine, I don't need anybody help, pull out gats on you fools, you know, shit like that, which is cool, it's fun, it's entertaining, it's poetry, but the bottom line is, from the time your daddy dropped the seed in your mommy's soil, you have been the conglomerate of every soul you've experienced in this life. One of the things we tend not to do, one of the things we almost throw into the shadow or have disdain and animosity towards, are the people who shape us through, I don't want to say negative experience, but experiences that we would rather have not had at the moment. What I'm talking about is people that may have hurt you in your life. I'm talking about people who may have doubted you in your life. People who may have left you, laughed at you. Anybody who seems to have been a detractor or an opponent to you becoming a stronger version of yourself, it's very easy to cast them into the shadow and say, fuck those people. I don't need them. They're nothing. They're no good. They're useless. And I'm better off living life never seeing them ever again. We could believe that, and we can make that a reality. But the fact is, whether we like to acknowledge it or not, all those negative experiences, all those people who have hurt us, ignored us, laughed at us, and given us pain in our bodies as we're trying to climb our ladder towards the strongest version of ourselves, are critical. These are very important people in your life. And I like to think back at some of the teachers and some of the coaches, some so-called friends that I've had growing up, and the mean things that they've said to me, mean things they've done to me. A lot of the things that for many years I was very resentful and held a lot of animosity towards them for, I now realize needed to be there, and I needed to have them. And I'm grateful for them because they shaped me. All the people, no matter how horrific the abuse they may have laid in your life, no matter how much heartbreak they may have brought you, no matter how much of a detractor or a naysayer or a laugher at you they were, they contributed to the character that you carry today, that makes you who you are, that makes the world you look at and experience what it is. Now, you might not be happy with what you see, but that's a different story. When you look around your life and if you find that there's only frustration that comes up and a lack of gratitude, that's a choice. No matter how dire our circumstances are, we can always choose gratitude. We could always choose happiness, joy, pleasure, and peace. If you've read Viktor Frankl's work, Man's Search for Meaning, you understand that even in the depths of severe imprisonment, stripping of dignity, and slave labor, you can still find peace and happiness. Now, I can't say it's going to be easy. I can't say I'm going to find it the minute something like that happens to me. But in retrospect, oftentimes we can look back and say, damn, good thing that teacher doubted me. Good thing that girl dumped me. Good thing that coach didn't think I had what it took. Because today, things are fucking awesome. And if it weren't for those people, it might not be the way it is right now. So, I was supposed to have my phone with me. There's a quote from Ralph Waldo Emerson that I want to share with you guys. It kind of wraps up this whole idea that essentially when we step back and look at our lives, right? And I'm 36 years old, so I can look back at like maybe the past 10 years, right? But it'll continue to happen, right? As you grow older, as you evolve, as you grow in wisdom and experience, you can kind of look back and say, you know, all those things that were bad, they're not so bad after all. Right? They say hindsight is 20/20. I'm gonna, instead of trying to go get my phone, I'm gonna try to paraphrase Emerson's quote here. He says something to the effect of, life, like a train, is a string of multicolored beads. Right? So now that sounds strange, right? What the hell is this guy talking about? Life, like a train. If you can imagine, a train has many different compartments, right? You got many different cars on a train. I mean, you could have 100 cars on a train. He says, life is like that train, if you think of that train and each individual car as a multicolored bead. There's a different colored bead for each one of them. And life is the passing through of each one of these cars that offer us the hue of the color and the view that we see outside the window of it. And it is not until much later that we can look back and realize the beauty of the string of beads that has become our lives. So I share this with you today because I'd like to extend an invitation this weekend, if you're not hanging out and partying with us, to look back on maybe the past year. Look back at, and it might be too close. I know it's been just enough time for me to make sense and reconcile some of the experiences I've had over the past year. Those of you who've been following me know that it's been kind of a roller coaster ride. And a year is kind of enough to look back and put things in its place and say, you know, good thing I had that pain in my life. Good thing I had that frustration, confusion, and fallout in various areas of my life. Good thing I'm growing stronger and breaking eggs to make an omelet. You understand what I mean? So, look back a year, this year, 2015 in review, if you will. I always review my years at the end of the year. We're getting close to the end. And even perhaps look back at the last phases in your life. If you're coming out of high school, if you're coming out of college, if you've got children, if you get, whatever the case may be, look back at the last phase. Phases come in many different sizes, right? A phase could be 1 year, a phase could be 5 years. But look back at those multicolored beads and do your best to cultivate some gratitude and say thank you for those things that have happened, although they were painful at the time, which have ultimately brought more gifts, blessings, and pleasure into my life today. If you look hard enough, you will find the silver lining in every one of those gray clouds. Or you will find the beautiful colored hue outside the window of your train. Done.